Hello everyone, I am from the future. Just kidding. These are just my laser safe goggles, which I need because today I'm going to be doing a project on the Creality Falcon 2 laser engraver. So, we have, for our local school district, we have project graduation doing fundraising and things like that. So we decided that the Denman Homestead was going to donate a basket full of all of our things for project graduation. Then I started thinking about it, and I wanted to do something on the Creality Falcon 2. But I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, what I would come up with, different ideas. So I decided I want to do a customized cutting board. So check this out. This is the cutting board. Now this is acacia wood, and it's got some pretty cool, it's got a little like collection thing over there, I guess, for like juices, you know, and they run off. That's kind of smart. But then it's also got these grooves that are open on the outside. These are so that you can slide a phone or a tablet into the cutting board to like look at a recipe or whatever it may be while you're working on it. But I want to engrave the back. I want to do this for the school. So I did a couple of tests. I'll show you my first one. Here's my first test, okay? School name, logo, Wildcats. You can see though, I had the power up a little high and I got a little bit of burning around the edges, which I want less of this burning, but this part came out really well. Also, when I showed Steph, she said that she thought the Splendora ISD needed to be centered more on the logo. So, I'll show you my next one. My next test print, it's right here. I centered the school district here, and I also changed the font. Made it a little, there you go, a little bit nicer of a font, and I lowered the power down a tad bit, but now it's not dark enough. I lowered it to, I was on power 100 for the first one. That I got a little bit too much burn mark, a little too much heat. This was power 75. So, also, oh wait, I showed you the wrong one. Here is the second one. So I did not adjust the power. I just changed the font and centered the lettering. So the font is a little bit nicer of a font. The lettering is centered, but I still got the burn marks. Also, I was too close to the edge on my framing. But this is just a test, right? This is why you buy this basswood, these sheets of basswood, because they're super cheap and you can do tests on it before you mess something up like an expensive cutting board. Okay, so test number 3 is right here. I got less burning. I framed it correctly. It's centered right in the frame. I centered the wording, but I didn't like how light the logo came out. It's not as dark as the other one. So I need to find a happy medium between 100% power and 75% power, which are the two that I played around with. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try one at 90, and if I like it at 90, then I think it's time to engrave our first piece, or our first like large piece of wood, because the only thing we've done since has been the ornaments, which have been awesome. The ornaments have turned out great. I'll show you some. These wooden ornaments, these have turned out really well on this pine. But we haven't done the acacia wood, and we haven't done anything large, right? So this is gonna be our first large thing. I did get two, just in case I messed the first cutting board up. I did get two, and I'll just have my own personalized school cutting board. But yeah, let me do the power settings on 90. See how that looks. Okay, so while that is doing its thing on the Falcon 2, let me show you a little bit about, let me show you what Connor and Alora are up to. I gave them a job, and you know, hats off to them, because if you can find a way to make the job fun and enjoyable, that much better, right? Look at these two kids. Okay, so after cutting the last one out, I decided that I want the letters to be dark as well. I think it's gonna look nicer, so I changed the file up a little bit. I'll show you how I did it, and converted the letters to dark. All right. So in order to make our text dark, go over here to the left-hand side of the text tool, this letter A, click in here, and we can just start typing. And we've got our lettering. Now that we have our lettering, we can right-click it, convert it to a bitmap, and fill all. Hit OK. Now we got dark lettering. So if we want to add an image, like our logo image to this, we can just do it through here, File, and Import. Now we have our logo, and you can line this up however you want to do it. You can resize. And then we're going to right click and go to select all once we have it the way we like it, and right click again and go to group. Now with it grouped, this is one file, one image file. So that's how we do the dark lettering with a logo. So let's see what the one that I was working on came out looking like. So here you can see the logo with the dark lettering that we're working on right now. Now over here, we can adjust, on the right hand side, we can adjust the speed and the power. The speed can go into the thousands over here. You can get very quick with it. And the power can go up to 100%. You can also, on the pass count right here, you can go over your image a couple more times, however many times you want, to get a more defined image, or even cut something out if you want it cut out. But we are going to set this to power 90 for ours, and our speed we're going to go down to 200. So what I've found is that the lower speed, higher power does give you a little bit more defined image. So let's throw this on the Falcon 2 and see what it looks like on our test board. So now that I got the file ready, I'm going to flip over that piece of wood that I just used to test, and we're going to engrave the wood with the dark lettering. I think is going to look better. But that's why it's good to have some of these sheets of wood, right? Because you want to, before you do something like on a nice wood, you want to be able to test it, and this stuff's pretty cheap. So let's test it now again with dark lettering this time. That turned out really nice. I like that. I like the dark lettering. I think it pops more. So there's only one thing left to do. That's actually put it on a cutting board. Okay. Let's do it. Now I gotta get my measurements right, and I gotta adjust the laser. So let's go over to the Falcon 2, and we'll do that. Got my cut guide, and we're going to be on the top step, which is engraving. I got my ruler. We're going to frame this out. Okay, so what I was doing there was just putting the ruler on each side of the cutting board to make sure that we were going to be even as far as the image when it comes out on the board. So it looks pretty good, so let's do it. Let's try it. I only have one other cutting board if it messes up, so... dark outside. During the course of this project and all the tests, the sun has set. But just look at this. Look how beautiful it is. It turned out perfect. I love it. Man, that's cool. And then you got, so this is the back, and then you got the cutting board with all the other cool features of just the cutting board itself, but it's personalized now. Man, it's so cool. I love it. Turned out great. Okay, well, that was an amazing project. The Creality Falcon 2 is awesome. There's so many things I'm going to do with this. Cutting boards, ornaments. It's just the beginning, guys. I love it. Alright. Thank you so much for joining me today while we made a personalized cutting board for our project graduation basket. That's going to have a bunch of other Denman Homestead stuff added to it, but that's a pretty cool one. That is cool. Alright, I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.